Right, people, brace for impact. Brace for impact because it just keeps getting worse. We've already been through the ringer courtesy of the NFL over the last few days with the scheduling of the Packers-Lions game, and also, some things that weren't necessarily the NFL doing anything wrong, but still have a negative effect on us, like the scheduling of the Vikings game versus the Niners game. And it's not done yet. Now, what I can say is that at the very least, this isn't all because of the NFL. The NFL was not responsible for this first item, but we got two things to go through in this video, and neither is good. And yes, one of them does concern the decision making of the NFL. So let's start with this one. This one's pretty cut and dry. Nathan Peterman is getting the start for the Bears on Sunday in place of Justin Fields. Now, not that this is saying much, but Justin Fields has been the Bears' best player for a little while now, and with him in there, they at least had a chance to make games interesting. They weren't winning games, but Fields at least did things positively. Fields at least gave there was some belief that that team could do things well. So, not only are the Bears not playing him this week against the Vikings, they're playing one of the worst backup quarterbacks in the league. Nathan Peterman is one of the all-time quarterback memes. And I think that at this point, even if the Vikings play their backups, even if the Vikings decide they don't care about this game, they might still beat the Bears. They really might. So I don't know how serious the Vikings are going to take this game, but at this point I'm inclined to believe it doesn't matter. It's Nathan Peterman, people. It's one of the worst teams in the league, one of the worst offensive lines in the league, and now they have one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. Like, Nathan Peterman is on a low level even as far as backups go. So, I don't know if they're holding out Fields because he's injured. I don't know if they're holding him out because of a tank where they want to lose to secure the highest pick possible. It's probably a combination of both, where Fields would play if this was like a win and in game for the Bears, but in this situation, they just decide, why even mess around with it? Fields has already gotten hurt this year. The way he plays means he's going to get hurt more often than the average quarterback. So why mess around in a game that means nothing when even winning the game wouldn't be that great because your pick would probably drop a spot? So yeah, if you were holding out hope that the Bears could win one game for you, it's gotten a decent amount less likely with this news. But this isn't really what upsets me, because if the Vikings showed up and played starters in that game, I think you could pretty much pencil in the Vikings to win anyway. The Vikings have a reason to play hard in that game just because they played so bad against the Packers. They're not going to want that to be the final game they played seriously before the playoffs. So odds are good the Vikings would have won this game regardless. So this is whatever. This is not whatever. This is, oh crap. Ravens-Bengals has been scheduled officially for the early slot. And what this means is, if the Ravens lose to the Bengals, and it doesn't look like they're going to have Lamar Jackson at the very least, we know that. If the Ravens lose to the Bengals, the Chargers have nothing to play for. Nothing to play for against the Broncos in the afternoon slot. And this is what we were talking about, guys. Removing motivations for teams to be competitive in these games. Now, the Chargers have every motivation to just lay down. The win does nothing for them. It's completely meaningless to them unless they want to keep some kind of momentum going, which I think in the modern NFL, most teams don't think about that nearly as much as the risk of injury. Whereas the Broncos, who are eliminated from the playoffs and don't have their draft picks, have no reason to do anything but try to win, just to wash the terrible taste of this season out of their mouth. So now you're probably going to have a team of Chargers backups. The only hope we have is that the Ravens win with Tyler Huntley against this Cincinnati Bengals team. So That doesn't seem super likely to me, especially with Tyler Huntley. Even without him, I don't know if I like it. But now you're dealing with a Chargers team that will probably, I'm going to say probably, have nothing to play for on Sunday, getting to rest starters against a Broncos team that is heavily motivated to go out with a win. And when you look at the rest of the NFL, you take a look at the rest of the landscape, that probably drops the Seattle pick from 3 to 4. Now, it's probably just that one spot from 3 to 4. But that one spot could be everything. That one spot really could be everything to us. So, yeah, this is kind of a big deal. And I don't know what the exact decision tree was here between them putting it early or late. But they decided to put it early, and it puts us in the worst position possible with regards to the Denver-LA game. And given that, I don't know why they do it. Again, you would think that they'd want to make every game as competitive as possible. But we see multiple decisions this league has made in the last several days to make games non-competitive, to make things as uninteresting as possible. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. But as a Seahawks fan, I'm looking at all these little things that are going on here. I'm looking at the Packers-Lions Sunday Night Football. I'm looking at this. I'm even, to a certain extent, looking at the Vikings and 49ers games relative to each other, although I seriously doubt that one would have mattered at all, especially now. But, yeah. The NFL still doesn't know what they're going to do with the Bills-Bengals game, which has an effect on this game, by the way, because it affects the division. The Bengals winning versus the Bengals losing. Does that give the Ravens the ability to win the division? Now we don't know what's going to happen with that game. Hopefully they make a decision soon. But that part of it is kind of tertiary to me as a Seahawks fan. I'm looking at this from the angle of, okay, why are you making it easier for the Chargers to just rest their starters? And to the NFL, I say, I'd like you guys to take the knife out of the back, because this is just one thing after another here, and I'm starting to get annoyed. I'm getting irritated. So this is the plate of crap that we've been served from the NFL. It seems like they're doing everything they can to make sure we don't make the playoffs, and that Denver pick falls a spot. And it's little things. It's just these little things that are going to provide a little bit of an edge. By the way, I've seen several websites already make the Broncos favored by a couple points in that game, which obviously would not be the case if they thought the Chargers were going to play hard. So even Vegas sees what's going on here, and they're anticipating that game to now swing Denver's way. The way Denver played against the Chiefs, they'll easily beat the Chargers' backups. Now, the way they played against the Rams, they're going to get clobbered by anybody. So who knows what Broncos team shows up, but this is not helping. So, yeah. I guess this is just going to be that 1 week of the year where I really take the NFL to task for some of this nonsense, because I don't appreciate it. Like, there are other teams you can screw over here. Why does it have to be us? All right, I got to go do some stuff. I'll see you guys later tonight, probably streaming on Twitch for a good chunk of the evening. Hope to see you guys there. More Breath of the Wild, maybe Lego Star Wars. We will see which one I pick. And I hope to see you there, but not good news today. Peace out. Go Hawks.